appreciate you guys hanging out. I know it's a little bit chilly today out here finishing up Wednesday practice. Great practice. Guys are really, focused and dialed into what we're doing, looking to improve in all areas, understanding that, our whole focus always has to be on getting better. And ending with 2-minute drill and, open to questions.
Expecting these guys offensively to be a little bit more air raid-ish just because of the sheer volume of running backs that are out for them. I mean, not even like questionable, like out, like 3 or 4 guys.
Out, but I know that what they have is really good and talented and extremely explosive, which they've shown on tape. At the same time, they're just really talented. They're really talented at wide receiver. They're really talented at the offensive line position. So, you prepare for what you see on film, what you've seen in the past, and for what information, like you mentioned, that you get, and make sure that you're airtight in your calls. That you have answers. Knowing that, hey, this is obviously it's always the most important game because it's a game of the week, but to give our guys the best chance to be successful.
Andy said that practice this week's been really good, and he felt really confident where they're at. You feel like the overlap of the schemes, I know they're different a little bit, but you feel like the overlap and the familiarity of another air raids kind of helped you guys improve, and obviously just your talent.
I think it always does. I think what we faced last week was unique, and I think we learned a lot from it. And at the same time, just by nature, from the culture, is our guys want to improve and attack the processes that, in regards to facing teams that have some type of carryover, whatnot. So it's been beneficial in a sense, but at the same time, knowing that there are some pretty significant differences in the team we're playing this week versus last week. The talent level of this team is off the charts, elite talent in a lot of different positions. So our guys have, like Andy said, they've practiced really well, our focus, and have had a really good week.
As far as the postseason discussions and outside noise around this team from people like us, it's ramped up, especially after that win over Wazoo. I mean, how nice was that Week 1 game against Auburn with all the expectation in Jerry World and outside noise that maybe you're a little bit more prepared for what's going to come now in the last few weeks of the season here as far as that discussion goes from the outside in?
I think the outside noise becomes less and less of a factor for us because we do address it. We don't try to hide and say, hey, forget that stuff. It doesn't. Of course it's out there. I mean, you can't get on your phone without seeing stuff. But at the same time, I mean, this team has been built on, so to speak, its struggles of the past, right? Especially the senior class. They went through a 4-8 season and a bunch of other stuff, 3 head coaches, right? And then last year, really mounting momentum and really taking some really hard lessons along the way. And they all have to do with not enough attention to detail or focus. And it relates to all of us, starting with myself, is improving those processes. So because of the investment and building ourselves from the inside out, because the principles and values and regimen and discipline have become better and stronger, we feel good about dealing with outside noise.
Any injury updates at this point?
Well, I know Troy's the big question by everybody. He's been full speed the entire week. Feel great about him, as has been Travis. Is there anybody else I need to address? No, G-Mon, he tweaked his ankle. He's been practicing all week, and he's good to go this week.
Mario, there's so many touchbacks and even fair catches on kickoffs now. How gratifying was that your kickoff return team was ready in the big moment to not only return it, but make a big difference there?
They take a lot of pride. Bobby Williams and the rest of the staff, they do a really good job, and the players attack it. We actually name a captain for each unit each week, and it's their responsibility to really hold everybody accountable, which increases ownership in the whole thing. We knew Mikel was special, right? We've all seen the film ever since he was in high school, how dynamic he can be, and so I think he's just getting started at that position. I think he's a guy, and I think Jalen Red's another one that we've worked back there, and I think Travis. We're getting closer and closer at getting better at that particular unit.
So do those guys have the green light if it's kicked, goal line out?
They better score.
Yeah.
They better score. They better get it out past what the touchback would give us, right?
Yeah.
So if Michael's working his way up in that, there's only so many guys who can be back there. So who's the odd man out? Is it Daywood? Is it Travis? Or leaving it open?
We go all the way to Friday because we still have to have these guys make decisions, right? We still have to give them different kind of kicks, squib kicks, sky kicks, cross field kicks, and see how guys handle that. There's a lot that goes to it. He certainly made a statement with his return the other day, so he is strong in the mix to be a guy that we depend upon. But we're going to let it roll all the way through Friday.
How important has David been on those kickoffs? Because I remember against Washington, he had a big block to spring a return, and then he's done it again against Washington State. What have you seen from him in that
Great
role?
on teams in general, on the punt team as well. Had a really big tackle when we were up in Seattle as well, and he puts a lot of pressure on the returners because he's so quick. He releases relatively deterred, so he gets down there and he forces guys to make a decision real quick, or he makes a tackle. But high level of pride and effort, and it's really made a difference on our special teams.
Going back to that senior class, you mentioned where they've been and how far they've come. I mean, what's their message kind of been to some of these underclassmen who, especially the freshmen to this point, have known one loss and 6-7 wins here? I mean, what's the discussion been from the seniors down as far as how to approach this back half of the year?
Well, just about all of them have they're a mentor. We assign guys, we assign freshman mentors, which are older guys or whatnot. And even more so than that, what we emphasize as a staff to our young guys is that the greatest gift that they have arriving here is to have this senior class, because this senior class is showing them the way it's supposed to be done. And that's a little bit of everything, right? Having gone through tough times, a new regimen, a new blueprint, complete buy-in, culture getting stronger. But that is the greatest gift that an upperclassman could give an underclassman. To this day, when I walked into a locker room as a freshman in college, it was made clear to me this is the way we do things, and anything outside of that won't be tolerated. And the results that come with it, are a testament to, validates all the sacrifice and hard work that goes with it. So that's what I feel is probably the greatest thing that comes of it.
When you guys have a really well executed play, like CJ's 89-yard touchdown run, where you guys had blockers getting into all sorts of levels, you had tight ends, everybody getting. How much time do you guys spend looking at in film just well executed plays and just basically highlighting like, hey, here's what you guys did right?
Well, how much time?
Like versus like mistakes, like showing like positive stuff
Right.
versus
Well, we like I would say being able to improve at everything we do, because even that play could have been better in a couple of aspects.
How?
I know the result is exactly what you want, right? But maybe we could have gotten our half place out on the mic and cut them off instead of blowing them by the hole. Is it nitpicking? Without a doubt, but why not, right? Why not make your standards so high that they're borderline, unreachable? But it's important for our guys to always understand. Let's say a play didn't work out well, was not executed well, that if we did it wrong, it doesn't matter whether you won or whether you lost, it's still wrong, and you got to fix it, right? But at the same time, when you do it the right way, you've got to, you always want to praise effort, you want to celebrate execution. You really want to make a big deal of it because, they see it, they see the rewards of doing it the right way by knowing what to do, how to do it, and why it's done that way. So,
Thomas,
I don't know, that question kind of got, I was trying to figure out just in my head, man, we spend a lot of time on everything, so let me try to break it down for you. So I apologize here.
Thomas is such a fierce competitor. I mean, a lot of you guys are, but he's really animated with it.
Yeah.
He seems like a guy who kind of carries a perpetual chip on his shoulder for a lot of reasons, including about this opponent. What do you take from his personality? What is kind of now that you've been around him for a couple of years, how would you describe him and that aspect of his approach?
I don't think it has anything to do with this particular opponent. I think that's his DNA. I think Thomas wants to be the best, and he understands that there's other great players out there. We'd be crazy to think that there aren't, right? I mean, we all want to feel that we're the very, very best, but there's great ones out there, and to be that, you have to play with that chip on the shoulder, and he does. Everything he does, he approaches it with that attitude and that mindset. Extremely smart. I don't know how much time you've spent with him and talking to him about football. I mean, this guy's he's as dialed in and as knowledgeable as you'll find in the country, especially he's a true junior, so he's played a lot of football, but at most places he's a redshirt sophomore, right? Young. So I can't say enough about him as a person, a competitor, a teammate. His value to this entire organization is off the charts. So, I mean, it's obvious I'm gushing about the guy. I love the guy, okay, because the guy represents exactly what you want your team members to represent.
Andy said over the last 3 weeks he's seen some really big strides from Mace, who was already pretty good for you guys early in the season. Just considering that he missed all of last year and didn't come into the fall, like, Is this where what you guys expected out of him, or is he ahead of schedule? I mean, just overall in his development, what have you seen?
I think he expected it. We expected it. We always felt he was the best in the country when he was a sophomore. We felt that that guy, by the time he's a senior, will be the very best one. And him being injured didn't in any way, shape, or form phase us. And in fact, we thought, hey, you know what? It's a great opportunity to let him know that we're with him, regardless. Because I mean, it happens in football, right? It happens, and he's picked up. Now he's bigger. He's bigger. I mean, he's really he's become a physical presence. I mean, Mace is very heavy-handed and light-footed, but extremely smart, understands leverage. Block destruction-wise, he does an unbelievable job shedding blockers. So I think sky's the limit for him too. He's just getting started.
He had put on a lot of weight from that injury and then had to get back in shape. Where was he at in the fall compared to?
He's just a naturally big guy. I mean, he wasn't made to be small in any way, shape, or form. I mean, if he eats an extra burger, he's up 20 pounds. That's the way he is. Big bone, just solid, muscular, strong. He's a guy. When you watch film and you watch collisions, sometimes you see things mesh together. When Mace, it's like, bam, right? It sounds different. It looks different. There's some stuff going on there because of his physicality. So, and then the weight that he had, he put on some weight, and then he trimmed down another 15 or 20 pounds. So. He's just about at optimal weight right now.
Couple more.
Guns N' Roses, your favorite band, huh?
Sometimes, I guess, I like Motley Crue. I like a lot of good stuff out there, I hope I'm not saying anything controversial, but I like all kinds of music, but not much time to listen to music,